Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
This is Anita Finley, and we are going to present something that's a little bit different. We have a lot of entertainers, we have authors, we have all sorts of interesting guests, but when I met RENAE Patterson, it really kind of changed my idea of women getting into technology. I should have known that anyway. RENAE, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Miss Finley?
Thank you for being here with us. And of course, it's interesting because don't you find that, and I guess that sounds chauvinistic, that up until a long time ago, it really was that men were the people who, were into technology.
That's very true. I think over the course of the years, though, women have started to enter non-traditional fields as far as their careers and their roles and their professions. So I would say that's true in the past, but now we are making great strides in the IT or the information technology industry.
But of course, you're talking about healthcare.
Yes, I am.
We know that women are very strong in healthcare, so you've been able to bridge those two facets. So why don't we start off by talking about exactly what, Unified H.I.N.T.S is.
Okay. So Unified H.I.N.T.S is a software application, also an organizational tool that allows you to easily store, arrange, and secure your personal health information. So what that means to you is next time you go to your doctor's appointment and they ask you the same routine questions over and over, medications, allergies, medical history, past surgery dates, you'll have that information readily accessible by logging into your Unified H.I.N.T.S account. So that'll eliminate you struggling to constantly try to remember this information or searching your house for old documents to provide to the doctor's office. So it's a tool to keep all of your health information and important documents organized in one place.
Well, I'm going to see a new doctor coming this week, and of course they hand you 6 pages to put everything there. So I was hoping that what you had would eventually be something that people could just hand the stick to them and say, you do it.
True. So how this works is if you are going to a doctor's appointment for the first time and they're handing you those stacks of papers asking you to fill out some of this information, you have 2 options. You can log onto your Unified H.I.N.T.S account. You can show that information to your healthcare team right there in your account. You have the ability to email your patient health report to that provider as well. Or if you have a printed out copy, you can share them the printed copy of your patient health report.
Right.
Yes.
And it's hopefully you get someone at the front desk that can understand any of this, right?
Well, hopefully so. But I mean, on the safe side, just have a printed copy of your patient health report, take it with you to that doctor's appointment, and share that copy with them.
Right. So did you act as a guinea pig for the first time when you did this?
Of course, I have a Unified H.I.N.T.S account myself,
right.
So naturally, I was very involved with the design and the actual layout of the application. So I had a pretty major role in developing the application. I worked along with a team of developers who were able to build out my dream. And one of my goals was to have a user-friendly design that was intuitive for the users to utilize the application. Well, so that was the goal.
So let's go back to your dream.
Yes.
When was the moment when it flashed and said, hey, I've got an idea that I think we need to do? How did that come about?
I would say this dream came about 10 years ago when in the latter part of my nursing career, I've been a nurse for 21 years. In the latter part of the career, I spent in the clinical informatics departments of hospitals. So all of the hospitals were purchasing electronic medical record systems to implement in the hospital. And a lot of the feedback that the providers and the healthcare teams were giving, they weren't completely satisfied with what was being implemented because it still did not meet all of their needs. So at that point, I thought there's an opportunity there if these multi-million-dollar systems aren't completely meeting all your needs, and there's an opportunity for me to design something to try to meet some of those needs as well. So that's how it started from my clinical informatics background.
Right. Well, that was very brave of you because starting is like a new frontier.
I realized that, and there has been some ups and downs along the way, but I've been steadfast, and now I'm here.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of you for doing that because it is very needed. And I know from, personally, that I started just carrying around piece of paper, with I don't take many medications, just putting that down and putting other things. But my husband had different medications, he had different things, and it took a while to get all that together. So I think that especially dealing now with the older adults, they're not going to be simple things. They have to write this down, and then their kids. Let's talk about that aspect. Many of their children have no idea what medication they're taking, what's happened to them. Isn't that true?
That's very true. So our tool can be utilized by the patient as well as the caregiver. And one of the features that we have are family accounts. So you have the ability to add up to 4 family members to one account. So therefore, when you log in, you have everyone's information readily available. And we also have our patient health report that you have the ability to email to caregivers or to providers. So someone else has a copy of the information that's currently in your Unified H.I.N.T.S account.
I also think, and just as we were talking, that the elder law attorneys who are, these are their patient, not their patients, but it's their customers or their clients. It wouldn't hurt for them to have it, because what happens a lot of times, the kids are somewhere else, and the elder law attorney wants being in charge of things, and be nice if he knew what was going on, wouldn't it?
That's very true, and that's true for a lot of the healthcare team members, home care agencies, and so forth. You can save a lot of time if the clients or the customers you begin to work with had all that information readily available for you at that initial interview session versus spending time calling relatives, calling different providers or clinics or hospitals trying to gather this information. Within the Unified H.I.N.T.S application, we have a documents library, so you are able to store things such as your advance directives, living will, power of attorney, all in this library. It's unlimited storage, so if there was an emergency, as long as a caregiver had access to this account, they would be able to download copies of those documents.
Yeah, we hadn't talked about this before.
No,
I
we
think
didn't.
that's
We
very
did not.
important that we share that the elder law attorneys or the people working in the trust, that they have the information, but also it's put into their Unified H.I.N.T.S documents. What do we call it? Computer software?
Yeah, their application.
Yeah, their application.
The goal is to have more of a comprehensive tool. So not only do you have your health information, you also have these important documents. So it's like a one-stop shop to access information, and you have the ability to access it at any time. As long as there's an internet connection, you log into your account and you have all the information readily available at your fingertips.
Well, this gives me another idea. I'm going to give you the name of a very fine elder law attorney who's been actually working with us for almost 20 years. So, and he has taken care of my family and all of our information. So he would be very good in this because he has a big clientele now. He's been doing this for a long time here in Palm Beach County.
Nice.
His name is Joe Karp. I'm just going to say that because people know from reading the magazine. Had you tried to contact him yet?
I have not, but I do believe I saw his advertisements in the
Oh,
magazine.
yes, you have to really do that because he's into all this kind of this stuff. He wants to give his clients the very best, and I think that this is the very best for him. So let me give a phone number so we can get everybody who's listening right on track. I think it's important. Remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio. We have quite a few people reading now. The phone numbers, well, let's just do this. It's 1-833-MY-HINTS.
Yes.
Right?
1-833-MY-HINTS.
MY-HINTS. Do we have to do it? No, we don't have to do a hyphen. It's all that there. 1-833-MY-HINTS.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. And if you look at of her advertisement, her article in the Boomer Times, you'll see a lot more there. I mean, it's really amazing how you have that laid out. It's for everything. And we're so glad, and it's called Your Health in Your Hands, 24/7.
Yes, exactly.
So, of the people who now are using this, what have their testimonials been like? What do they say?
Well, I'll give you a testimonial of one of my long-standing customers. She's a blind client, and she has told me on several occasions Anytime that she's had to call fire rescue, she normally directs them to her Unified Hints folder and tells them that they can find their information in her folder. So there they're viewing her patient health summary report. She's also told me times she's gone to the emergency room, the triage nurse asks her those same questions over and over. Of course, she's not feeling well. She's provided that nurse with her log-on information to her Unified Hints account, and she was able to gather the information at that point as well. So she's had some very good testimonials as far as how the tool has benefited her during times of illness. And one of my goals are, instead of focusing on providing information, you should be able to focus on feeling better or getting better or receiving a high quality of care. So this tool is definitely convenient because it's accessible as long as you have an internet access, and it saves you time and it saves your healthcare team time as well.
That's where your healthcare experience comes in, you see. So you're not just that technological genius. You're a person who understands, and that's why you saw a lot of damage happening as a nurse, and it shouldn't have happened because people didn't know what to tell people, right?
It's very true. Over my 21-year career, I've worked as an ER nurse, an urgent care nurse. I've worked in home health, and I've even worked for ACA, which is the regulatory agency that surveys healthcare systems for compliance with federal and state regulations. And one thing remained the same regardless of the role that I was in or the specialty area. I often encountered caregivers and patients who struggled to recall vital health information. So I can tell you countless times you have a parent bring their child into the ER. Maybe they're having a seizure, maybe they're not breathing, and we're still trying to extract this data from the parent during these emergencies. If they had something as simple as maybe just a copy of health information or could log onto a Unified Hints account, they could focus on receiving better treatment and care for the client, while the nurse or the doctor still have access to that important information, which impacts your overall treatment plan.
So how easy is it to log in? You have to have, I guess, a username and then a password. Is that what you do?
Yes, each user has a username or password. So again, as long as there's internet access, you can access your account from a mobile phone, from a tablet, from a computer. And you log on, you go to unifiedhints.com, and you log on using your unique username and password, and all of the information is readily available. One of the first things you see when you log into the application is a dashboard. So it gives you a snapshot of some important information such as your emergency contact, medications, allergies, and providers. So whomever is logging into that account at the time of an emergency doesn't necessarily have to drill down for all of the information. They have that snapshot view right there on the dashboard.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that comes from your experience, knowing, okay, then they're starting to do all this stuff and we can't go through this. What is it that we need, this and this, and it's right there.
Yes, definitely.
All right, now what if someone, as I do, lose my password? How are they going to be able to get on?
There's an option to reset the password. So you go to the website and select that you've forgotten your password, and you can reset it from there. And then I know some people are probably thinking, I'm a senior, I know nothing about computers. So we offer a concierge service featuring our pals, and our pals are your personal advocates and liaisons. We will assist you with collecting, organizing, and managing your information in your Unified Hints account.
You haven't missed a trick. You haven't missed a step. That's the first time I heard that.
Yes. So we do offer that service as well. So if you don't want to be bothered, or you could utilize the assistance even for the adult caregivers who are busy still living life, we can offer that concierge service to them as well. And I think for our seniors, we can utilize that service as an opportunity to teach you some basic Windows skills if you are interested in learning anything about the computer.
This is wonderful, Renee.
Thank you.
My guest is Renee Patterson, and she is the founder and the CEO of Unified Hints. And yeah, I love this. It just pleases me so to be able to have someone like this on the radio and to be, sharing all this with such a beautiful woman who is smart, caring. It doesn't get better than that. Okay, we're going to give you, just get your pencils out. Remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio. It's 1-833-MY-HINTS, H-I-N-T-S. Now tell people what HINTS stands for.
HINTS stands for Health Information Notification and Tracking System. So it describes the actual functionality within the application.
But the word hints very good because it says just what you wanted to say, this is my information. It's the hint.
Exactly. Unified hint. So all of your information in one place, they're unified, and it's a hint to all of that important health information or important documents that you need access to.
Okay, so the big question, and people would ask, well, how much does this cost? Is this going to be thousands of dollars?
It's not thousands of dollars. Our goal is to solve a problem, the problem of struggling to remember information, having scattered documents between doctors' offices, hospitals, urgent care centers, assisting people that may have survived the death of a loved one and have no clue where to find their last will and testament, trust documents, healthcare surrogate information, anything of that nature. So our goal really is to solve a problem and give people a tool. We offer 4 subscription plans, and our starting costs for our subscription plans are $2.99 a month. So that's for an individual plan, very affordable.
And so that's hard to even to believe. That includes getting it on there themselves. I don't mean the concierge, but if they can open it up and get it on there, that's $2.99 a month.
Yes, that's very true. That's our individual plan. You're tax savvy, you have some skills on how to utilize the computer, you have all your information already available. All you need is a repository to store the information. You sign up for an account yourself. You go to www.unifiedhints.com and you sign up and you select one of our 4 subscription plans. And the one that's $2.99 a month is our silver plan, and that's for the individual.
Okay, so let's go to the next plan. What would that do?
The next plan is our Silver Plus plan, and that's our family plan. That is $3.99 a month. And for that family plan, you can add up to 4 family members to one account. However, as the head of household, you're responsible for collecting that information, gathering it, and entering it into the system yourself. So that's the difference between the 4 plans that we offer. 2 are for the individuals, and the remaining 2 are for the concierge service.
So you can actually put your family members on your, where you started for an extra dollar a month subscription, right?
Yes, up to 4 family members in one account, and you can also add Charlie to that account as he's here in the background with us.
So that's interesting because that you mentioned a lot of us have dogs, and a lot of us take them to the vet, and there are a lot of things. Wow, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yes.
So you have room for other people on there.
Yes.
Right?
Right now it's up to 4 family members in one account. So you can have one login and access your 4 family members account from that one login.
Meaning 4 family, mean one dog is part of the family.
Yes.
Okay, now let's go to the concierge service.
Okay.
Now that's where someone helps you, so that would be with one person, right?
Yes, we have our gold plan. That's the individual with the concierge service. Yes.
And that, is this done over the phone? How does someone do this?
Well, it depends. So if you sign up for a concierge account, if you sign up for one of our concierge plans, a PAL will connect with you. They'll call you up to have an introductory meeting, of course, introduce themselves, and then we'll schedule an appointment for a needs assessment. And that's where we will determine if you prefer to do that as a webinar or face-to-face, and we'll sit one-on-one to understand what your personal health record challenges are. And from that needs assessment, we begin the collection, the organizing, and the managing of your information.
See, now, you've been on the radio before, and this is all new information. I'm so glad that we got to share this because these were questions that I really had, but now that you've already thought of all this.
Yes.
So tell me about somebody else on your program. Just kind of describe what their needs are and how that works. The blind person is an amazing story.
Yeah. I have other people on the platform that utilize the tool solely for purposes that they struggle for keeping information. So some people only enter their medications because they're challenged with keeping an accurate list of their medications and who they're prescribed by. So I have other people that use the tool solely for one aspect of the features, just based on what their needs are at the time.
I see. Well, so if you so you have like a list of people. So if somebody wanted, they called you because they didn't know, what was happening, but you would be able to have your list of all the people who are now doing this, right?
Yes, we do have one of our security features. That's one of the things we have not talked about. I think it's important that I notify all of our listeners and our current consumers that our application, we use HIPAA guidelines to develop the application, and we use the latest technology. So as a part of that security, we do keep audit trails of who all of our users are, and we are able to tell anytime there's been any updates or changes made to the system. So if need be, I can extract a list of who all my users are at the time to assist them with any updates or whatever their needs are.
And will you communicate with these people on a regular basis? Because the reason I mention that is, I don't know if you've had this happen, but on Facebook there are people who's had birthdays, but now they're deceased, and we still get them.
Yes.
And I don't know how to eliminate that, but I'm sure that you're going to be watching as you get thousands of people as subscribers. It's a very important part, isn't it?
Yes. So our current workflow with the concierge service is based on your needs. You can tell us how often we should communicate with you to update your information. However, if you don't have a specific needs requirement, we contact you on a quarterly basis to see how things are going.
Good.
For
I
you.
think that's very smart to do that. Most of us, it's funny. I just had a thing with my insurance policy. I haven't spoken to that person for years. I don't even know who it is anymore. We call ourselves orphans.
Okay.
And we don't want anyone to be an orphan in any company, but that's what happens because people get very busy and the name's already there. We would never make you an orphan in our company. We're going to be your wonderful representative, Marilyn Herman, and she's going to be right there talking to you and trying to help you. And that's what you're doing now, I gather, with your clients. You are, because you personally are very interested, and I know that.
Yes, definitely. And, we called our pals for a reason. Dial a pal is what we say to you.
Dial a pal?
Yeah, dial a pal. So, of course, we're helping you with the gathering of your health information management challenges. But our goal is to build a relationship with you, even if it is to call you once a week or whatever your requirements are, just to say hello and to see how you're doing. So I have some big ideas on how to expand the concierge service once we get things moving.
Oh, I mean, hard to let someone like you loose.
I mean, ideally, I would like to expand our PAL services to become true advocates where you need someone to maybe escort you to a doctor's appointment or someone to check on you during a hospitalization. You may need a referral to a specialist. Well, let us do that legwork for you and assist you with that. So I do have some big plans for our PAL or our concierge service, but there are other companies out there that do offer similar services right now. And
yes, but not including what you do.
Yeah, not including
this is
the
the additional, and
yeah.
I think with your information is more important because it's all there.
Yes, definitely.
The other people, they don't have this kind of information, you know.
Yeah, and I was just referring to the patient advocate part of it.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's splendid. I'm so glad that you're thinking about that. That's really wonderful. RENAE Patterson, she's a tiger. You're going to have to watch her because we can't let her too loose. I don't know. You'll be competing with Facebook and other things very soon, but we're so glad that you are here doing this with us. I want to give your phone number out again, and it's 1-833-MY-HINTS, H-I-N-T-S, and if you just call her, you can sign up for a free demo today.
Yes.
Talk about that. So you mean if they call you, you'll help them?
No, definitely. You can give me a call and we can schedule a webinar and I can show you all the neat features that we have available for you. Takes about 15 minutes, if that long.
When you come on next time, you come on and we do Facebook, maybe you need to bring your tablet or bring something, then we can maybe show some of this. Since Facebook Live, it allows us to do that. I don't know how we can do that quite, but maybe or maybe just bring some of the information sheets and we can go over them. I don't know how that will work. You think that's too hard?
No, that's doable, and I'm totally prepared. My computer's in my bag right now. But we'll save that for next time.
We're running out of time. We can't, but because I think that's everyone. When I first got my computer in the I think it was in the 80s. I had an IBM. I spent $5,000 on it. I was so excited, and I sat down. I said, I don't know what to do. And so my husband had somebody who was into computers, a very important person, and he came to me and he said, all I want you to do is write a letter. Don't even think about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I got started. So I can see that people listening now say, oh, how can I do this? But you have the PALS.
Yes.
And you have the concierge service.
Yes.
And so you have really thought of everything. And I look forward to that. I look forward to interviewing actually even the blind lady or some other people who you have. You could bring one of them if you wanted.
Okay, I'll do
Right,
that next
because
time.
it's good to hear from someone who is experiencing, because this is kind of magical.
Yes, I mean, I've sort of started targeting the senior populations because everyone's living a lot longer. The average life expectancy is between 79, 80 years old now. However, the information or the application is applicable to everyone. We have our people that have chronic illnesses. We have people with special needs. So there are a lot of people that can really benefit from such a tool.
If I had to bet on something, I'd bet on you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because I think this is really powerful and really wonderful. Well, we really thank you for coming in and doing this with us, Renee. You're quite a star, and we look forward to more articles from you and more radio shows, and good luck on everything.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.